The debate was on Wednesday, and people are already starting to show their opinions on this election. According to Reuters, Harris is now ahead of Trump by 5 points or so at 47%, while Trump is at 42%. But according to Insider Advantage, Harris is losing by Trump by a point, sitting at 48% and Trump at 49%. However, this is in Michigan, a very Democratic state. So I would say that the outcome for this would be a little bit greater on election day just because of the fact that they overestimate the Democrats and underestimate the Republican. Also in the news, we have a judge in Georgia dismissing 2 counts, which is great because this whole entire thing was just supposed to get Trump off the ballot in the very first place. But since that's not happening, we need to drop everything else and move on. We need to drop the act. It's time to just drop it. All of that and more on today's episode.
Facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
Without further ado, we're going to be digging into these polls here. So according to Reuters, like I said, Kamala Harris is at 47%, Trump is at 42%. If you were to look at this, increasing her advantage after a debate against the former president, voters largely think that she won. This is obviously because Trump was not only facing against her, but he was also facing off against the moderators. So it was like a tag team match. Obviously, that's not how these debates are supposed to go. This is supposed to be that you don't interact with how the debate is going as a moderator. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to just be there moderating. You're not supposed to interject your opinions or your political circumstances into this moderation. You're supposed to just look at it, look at the facts, and just stay quiet. Let the candidates just speak their minds for the next hour and a half or so. But of course, the moderators did not want to do that, and they did not fact check Kamala Harris when she lied, but they fact checked Trump when he arguably had a better choice of, he could have had a better choice of words to explain what's actually going on. But what is actually going on and what he says is going on. If you look at Minnesota, which with Walz being the governor of Minnesota, they saw countless times that a baby was born. They put the baby on the table and decided what to do with them after the abortion never went through. So this baby was born magically, and the abortion never went through. They tried to have the abortion. They tried to kill the baby inside of the womb. The baby did not die. The baby was born. The mom had to go through, obviously, actually having the baby at labor. And then when the baby came out, then they decided what to do with the baby. They put the baby on the counter, and they just let the baby die there on the counter without tending to the baby, without caring for the baby. This is exactly what happened in Minnesota 8 times. Now, are we going to sit here and say that that's a good thing to do? No. It's a magical moment and a blessing from God. And this is exactly what's supposed to happen within the world, is that you're supposed to be born when you are pregnant and that you go through labor. You're supposed to have a chance at life. So if you do not want the baby, and of course, you go through the pregnancy, you don't want the baby, put up the baby for adoption. How about we just do that, right? If you don't want the baby and you already went through and supposed mistake, and you do not want the baby anymore, there's so many people that would be blessed to have a baby in their lives. So many people that are waiting on the waiting list to have a baby from the adoption center. But the adoption centers don't have a really huge supply of babies. So, of course, what these people are doing is they're going on lists, thousands of people long, simply just for a baby, and you're taking away that opportunity, and you're taking away the opportunity not only for them to be parents, but you're taking away the opportunity at life for this newborn baby that you just put into this world. It's very upsetting, and it's very, very, very sad. Among voters who said that they heard at least something about their Tuesday's debate, 53% said that Harris won, 24% said that Trump lost, with the rest saying neither had or not answering. Some 52% of those familiar with the debate said that Trump stumbled and didn't appear sharp. That's because of the fact that the moderators interjected thousands of times. Not thousands, but, that's an over-exaggeration. The moderators actually went in and fact-checked, quote-unquote, Trump 3 different times and interrupted Trump while he was speaking 6 different times. They interrupted Kamala Harris 0 times. Said that while 21% said that of Harris. Among Republican voters, 1 in 5 said that Trump didn't appear sharp. Harris, 59, put Trump, 78, on the defensive in a combative presidential debate with a stem of attacks on his fitness for office and his myriad legal woes, highlighting Trump's felony conviction on charges on falsified business records. Some 52% of voters familiar with the debate said that Harris gave the impression of having a higher morality integrity compared to 29% who said the same of Trump. Many Republicans were not convinced about their candidate's performance in the debate in Philadelphia. Some 53% of voters said that in the poll, Trump won the debate, compared to 91% of Democrats who said that she was the victor. Among Republicans, 31% said that no one won, 14% said that Harris got the better of Trump. Yeah, that's because of the fact that you go and you attack his rallies. You say that his rallies are boring, people are leaving early. That gets right under his skin. Trump needs to learn to just drop it. It doesn't even matter. Whether or not Kamala Harris likes your rallies does not matter whatsoever, okay? The fact that the American people are going to your rallies and not going to Kamala Harris's concerts is something totally different here. So that's what he could have said. Listen, the only reason why people are staying for your rallies, your quote-unquote rallies, which are disguised as rallies, but in actuality are concerts, which you're having Megan Thee Stallion at, and knock on wood, or not knock on wood, but soon to be Taylor Swift performing at your rallies. So your rallies aren't really rallies, but they're just concerts disguised as rallies. That's what he should have said. At least he has people coming for him, not singers. 91% of registered voters in the poll said that they heard at least something of the debate. 44% said that they heard a great deal. The debate, hosted by ABC News, attracted 67.1 million television viewers, according to the Nielsen data, topping in roughly 51 million people who watched Trump debate then candidate President Joe Biden in June. Now, this is the second debate. Trump won the first debate. Trump, I would say, I would say, like, if anything, it's a tie at the second debate. So, again, people are forgetting about the first debate because now it's not with the same candidate. Biden's disastrous performance in the debate led to a widespread calls of the 81-year-old's leader, fellow Democrats, for him to drop out of the re-election bid, which he did in July by force. Now, Trump is the older candidate in the race, and the poll found that 52% of voters consider Trump too old to work in the government, which does not make any sense because of the fact that literally right this second, we have an older president in office. We have somebody older than Trump in office right this second. Trump, compared to 7%, said that they said the same about Harris. So they said what? So Harris, people are saying that Harris is too old to work in our government. Wait, how old is she again? That doesn't even make any sense. Harris, she's only 60. So what? So you think the cutoff should be 60 years old? Nah. No, I don't think so. The 7%, I know what they're trying to do. I just don't agree. Obviously, 60 years old is not even old in America anymore. You can do a lot at 60 years old. I think that when you're losing your mind, that's what the cutoff should be, unless we're going to implement a cutoff throughout our whole entire government. After, like, let's just say 80 years old, you cannot be in any government office. The Supreme Court, Congress, the Senate. You cannot be in the presidency. You cannot do anything after 80. That would be something. But, of course, that's not the rule of the land. So, of course, it is what it is as of right now. Moving on to the next article, we actually have the Federalist article. We have judge dismisses 2 counts against Trump in Georgia lawfare case. So, a judge dismissed 2 counts against former President Donald Trump on Thursday in Georgia lawfare case related to the 2020 election. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Wallace issued a 41-count indictment in August of 2023 against Trump and 18 co-defendants for illegally violating Georgia's Racketeering, Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO, statute for allegedly soliciting false statements and writings and for the alleged solicitation of violation of the oath of the public officer. Fulton County Superior Judge Scott McAfee, who donated to Willis's campaign in 2020, dismissed 3 counts on Thursday, 2 of which named Trump, saying that the allegations go beyond the state jurisdiction, and mentioned to dismiss who was brought by co-defendants John Easterman and Sean Still. So after all this, Fani Willis is still not doing her job. I mean, she came in there just to prosecute Trump. Literally, that's the only thing she wanted to do. Prosecute Trump, get Trump. He's an evil man. He's evil. He did bad things. And did I mention that he's evil? That's why Fani Willis won. She's a failure. She needs to drop out. I think that he should have never even been indicted in the very first place. And the fact that this got dismissed actually shows that he has absolutely no credibility at the state level. It would have to be at the federal level. But of course, if it is at the federal level and he becomes president, he could just put himself on immunity and pardon himself. So of course, that's not going to happen here. So it's over. It's all over. They need to dismiss all of these cases. And it is what it is at this point, right? You tried it through the law, you tried it through the court system, and it didn't work because there's no case there. So for them to actually make up all of these things, it's dismissed. There's no case. If there was a case, you don't think that they would be trying? They did. They did try, and it didn't go through. So all of these media articles about how Trump is going to get locked up and about the picture that they took just before he went to trial and stuff like that, and the mugshot, they just need to apologize to Trump. They need to issue a formal apology, and they need to make sure that they don't do this thing again in the future because it's a disgusting thing for our republic or for America. I mean, talk about a threat to supposed democracy. If you're trying to lock up your political rival, it just doesn't make any sense. Eastman and Still argued that the indictment was premeditated by federal statute and the presidential electors fall outside of the state's appointment power and the police power, and that state action is prohibited because the subject of an indictment is inseparably connected to the functioning of the national government, according to the ruling, because counts 14, 15, and 27 lie beyond the state's jurisdiction and must be quashed. The defendant's motions to dismiss the indictment under the Supremacy Clause are granted in part. McAfee ruled the case was still proceed. How? Wait, so it's dismissed, but the case will still proceed. Yeah, it just counts 14, 15, and 27 related to the alleged filling of false documents and conspiracy. Okay, so I guess for the most part, all of them are getting dismissed. 3 counts in this case, 14, 15, and 27, but the rest are going to continue. I just say good luck with this. I mean, good luck. I really think so. All these should just get dismissed at this point. I mean, look into it, see exactly. I mean, I don't trust the system of government in America, so I really don't want them to look into it. I just don't trust them. But the thing is here, if you're going to try to use this to your advantage, you might want to look at the evidence, have the lawyers look at the evidence. I don't think there's going to be anything. I know there's not going to be anything. And I guess we'll just take it from there because of the fact that it's just a stupid situation going on because you're trying to prosecute a former president of America and hopefully the next president of America. So good luck with that. So with that being said, we do have another article from the Federalist. We have Matt Walsh's "Am I a Racist?" exposes the weakness and grift of the anti-racist industry. So funny thing here, I was actually supposed to watch this movie yesterday, but something came up last minute and I was like, no, let me watch it over the weekend instead. So I'm actually going to go on Sunday to watch Am I Racist? I'm really, really excited because it's just such a good film. Like, as soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, wait, is this real? And yeah, it is real. So we're going to watch the official trailer together. I already watched this, obviously. This was released last month, and ever since it was released, I just could not stop watching it.
Let's be clear what's happening in this country. It's Nazism. Republicans are Nazis. You cannot separate yourselves from the bad white people.
Growing up in the 90s, I never thought much about race. Sure, you noticed, but never really seemed to matter that much, at least not to me.
Being a white, straight, cisgender man, it's the top of the pile.
I'm on the top of the pile. That's me. Am I racist?
I would really appreciate it if you left.
I'm trying to learn. I'm on this journey.
Can you please leave?
I'm going to sort this out.
Just so funny, though. specifically that part is because of the fact that they want you to learn about how evil you are, and then you're trying to learn, and then they say, "No, no, leave." Okay, so why? I mean, obviously, there's no disguise, so they probably know what he looks like, and I think that that's what he was talking about when he gives the behind the scenes details on this. But it's just so funny actually seeing Matt in another movie because I remember watching What Is a Woman. I watched that about 3 times already. It's just so funny. It gets funnier and funnier every single time I watch it. Um, and it gets even more sad because of the fact that I know exactly what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to this transgender policies and stuff like that, with kids getting tricked into doing these surgeries that they have no idea what is actually going on, in the repercussions of those actions until they actually go through it. But it's very, very funny seeing him in another movie. Am I racist? Trying to trick these people, not really trick them, but not, yeah, I wouldn't even say trick them. I would say just ask them questions and let them speak for themselves. And I don't know how he would do it if he sat here for like an hour with these people and tries to stay undercover. I would never be able to do that. I would never have that many patience for these kinds of people, especially saying ugly things like America is a deeply racist and systemically racist country. It's just, I don't know how I would be able to put up with somebody if they are saying that. I just don't know how he does it and how he has that much patience.
I need to go deeper undercover. If I want to be an ally, I need to look like one.
What is racism?
Martin Luther King said not to judge people by the...
Martin Luther King said a lot of stuff.
Is America inherently racist?
What the hell is that?
The word inherent is challenging there. America is racist to its bones. All of the...
So inherently.
Yeah. The entire system has to burn. And I'm not going to even use save this country. This country is not worth saving. This country is a piece of shit.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
They gonna say I'm racist.
Joining us now is Matt, certified DEI expert.
Here's my certification. Where are you guys in your anti-racist journeys? So I'll look around the room and point to who we believe is the most racist person in the room. We want to rename the George Washington Monument to the George Floyd Monument. Would you mind signing it? You will? What do you think about this issue of heteronormativity and how it intersects with the broader structures of racism in society?
They gonna say I'm racist.
What's up?
He doesn't even know what the questions that you ask the regular people. Like, you add all of these buzzwords that they want to actually put in these questions, and the average people have no idea what you're even talking about. Like, they're like, huh? Like, what even is that? I don't even know how to answer this question. So, of course, that's how you know that these people are just off the walls crazy. They have no grounding in reality, and the average American people just do not want to put up with this any longer. And this is the exact thing that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to make fun of it through comedy and expose them for what they actually want to push behind the scenes. That's exactly why things like this are such a benefit to our society in America, because of the fact that it shows off exactly for real what they want to push without all of the buzzwords that trick people into believing these things.
With white people. What are you doing to decenter your whiteness?
Who's making it the center? Why are they doing that?
And what you're doing is you're stretching out of your whiteness. This is more for you in this field. White.
Folks.
White.
Trash.
White supremacy.
White woman.
White boy.
White.
Entitlement.
White.
Centering.
White.
Silence.
Is there a black person around here?
There's a black person right here. Does he not exist?
They gonna say I'm racist, but they call everybody racist.
Hi, Robin.
Hi. And what's your name?
I'm Matt.
Matt. Hi, Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Just had to ask who you are because you have to be careful.
Never be too careful.
They gonna say you racist.
That's funny. And the fact that Robin DiAngelo is in this movie just puts a cherry on top. Obviously, all these people just don't really look into who they're really interviewing or who they're really talking to unless they actually have a clue on what's going on. But for the most part, they really don't know because you're paying them thousands and thousands of dollars, and they would just assume that no one would do that. But in reality, they would. And he did. And it's awesome. I can't wait to see it. It actually gets released today if you do want to go to the movie theaters and see it. It's a very interesting film. And I will be watching it on Sunday to give my full breakdown of this for Monday. So with that being said, we have the article from the Federalist. Obviously, a lot of people are actually talking about this movie now, and that's a good thing. In the act of war, to know your enemy, you must become your enemy. And in Am I Racist? The satirical documentary released by the Daily Wire, that's in theaters now. Writer and star Matt Walsh learns into the concept of the gusto, doing the work necessary to become an anti-racist. Fortunately for him, the diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) experts he depends on don't actually have the same level of dedication to studying their purported enemies. Walsh earns a classification in DEI. He visits a bookstore to pick up the propagandist Robin DiAngelo's White Fragility. He goes to the workshop explaining how to dismantle systemic racism, and he disrupts the opening meditation session at the workshop. Somehow, no one initially recognizes him nor realizes he's mocking them. Through the microaggressions he commits, Lid being found out by the other workshop attendees rather than allowing him to do the work after the discovery. And surely they see that he is someone who needs to do the work, and he gets escorted out. They call the police on him. The microaggression means that Matt Walsh has but one choice for this project. He must go undercover. The super fudge allows him to truly start doing the work. He learns that all Republicans are Nazis and women are the worst. Through his efforts, viewers also will learn those things are more, such as a fact that you should never hire him to be a server at your dinner party, or how white women are the worst. When it comes to learning how to clear dishes, Walsh still has work to do. Obviously, he meets Robin DiAngelo, and through this movie, you actually get to discover exactly what these people think behind the scenes is supposed to happen. You need to actually find out what these people are thinking so we can actually combat it. And you need to do this through comedy because it's the best thing that you could possibly do. And like I said, I'm very, very excited for this movie. As soon as I saw this trailer, I said, oh, I need to watch this. I just find Matt very funny. I'm more of the dry humor type person, so I love comedies like this. So I would be watching this, like I said, on Sunday. I will give my full breakdown on this on Monday. Obviously, several DEI activists who were featured in Matt Walsh's newest documentary, Am I Racist?, have decided to deactivate their X accounts just ahead of the film's Friday theatrical release. The Daily Wire's production features Matt Walsh going undercover, obviously. We already talked about this. Robin DiAngelo has now deactivated her Twitter account, which is actually better for all of us. Now we don't have to deal with her BS. Obviously, Matt quoted this and said that this is a shame. I was hoping that she would stay here so we can celebrate the release of the film together tomorrow. She's really the star of this movie, and she should be proud of her performance. And I completely agree. The post reactions gave Matt Walsh massive props for making the film and for his influence on the culture. And obviously, a lot of people said that they're going to give her $30 to reactivate. Somebody else said that he trolled her into retreat. Well done. And I completely agree with this. Obviously, this is not the only star that has reacted to this release. D'Angelo hasn't publicly said anything about the film. Somebody else that has been in the movie has just now came out and said that this piece of poop film comes out on Friday. She wrote in a post, which is the person that was actually talking about the Moana situation. And if you're wondering why I've been off the radar, it's because I have an inbox full of angry white men who are insensitivized that I don't let my daughter dress as Moana for Halloween. Now, obviously, that's not the only problem here. Obviously, this Moana situation, you can celebrate the character itself, but you can't play as a character or you can't dress as a character. Is just a little bit too absurd for the common people, and they just had enough. With that being said here, like I said, everybody should go see this movie if you do have the time for it. I know that if you go during the evening on the weekends, it's actually half priced or so, because I know that I only bought the ticket for like $9. Usually during the weekday, I was going to see it yesterday, which is on Thursday. It was going to be $18 for one ticket. But on the weekend before the evening, I think it was like $11.15 I'm going. It's only $9. So if you have $10 to spare and maybe $8 for some popcorn, if you have that money, just go see it. I really recommend this movie. Like I said, I'm going to give my full reaction of this on Monday because it is in the theaters. I did not see it yet, but based on the trailers, Matt is just saying that all the funny moments are not just in the trailers and all of the things that they're releasing out to the public. So there's a lot of things that are still in the movie that are yet to be released, and a very, very big surprise for everybody. And every single time they release like a new trailer or a sneak peek about this, I just skip it because I want to be surprised when I actually see it. That's how excited I actually am about this movie. So With that being said, we're going to end off this episode here. If you did like this episode and you do want to see more, I do post new episodes of my show every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening, and I hope they have a great rest of your day. Bye.